O Alan, handa ka na ba?
Handa na po, Mayor.
Halika na, baguhin natin ang bayan.
A lot of things can be said about Mayor Rodrigo Rodi R. Duterte, both good and bad. But one can never say that he makes promises he cannot keep. When he first ran for mayor in 1988, he ran on the platform of restoring order and stability in what was then considered as the killing fields of Asia. Just barely a decade later, Asia Week magazine included Davao in the list of top 20 most livable cities in Asia, making it the most livable city in the Philippines. What was known as no man's land in the 1980s became a city known for its cleanliness and orderliness. Mayor Rodi delivered on his noble promise for Davao during his first term. So Davaoeños kept voting for him again and again. And he has never lost an election since 1988, no matter how bad his critics and political rivals paint him to be. Mayor Rodi is the longest-serving city mayor of Davao. Now on his sixth term as mayor, he actually first got into politics by accident. Son of the late Governor Vicente Duterte, the last governor of the still undivided Davao province, Mayor Rodi was a reluctant politician who believed that becoming mayor, like the presidency of the republic, has a lot to do with destiny. When the late President Ferdinand E. Marcos was ousted during the 1986 People Power Revolt, and upon the installation of the revolutionary government of President Corazon C. Aquino, then Assistant City Prosecutor Rodrigo R. Duterte was drafted and appointed OIC Vice Mayor of Davao City in 1986. And he was only considered for the post after his mother, Soledad Nanay Suling Roa Duterte, a staunch activist against martial law and a pillar in the local women's movement, refused the appointment. Mayor Rodi was prevailed upon to accept the OIC Vice Mayor appointment because he was thinking that he might be promoted to City Prosecutor after a democratically elected Vice Mayor has been chosen. That was his only goal then, to become head of the Davao City Prosecution Office. But fate intervened. The people of Davao chose him to be their city mayor in the first general elections under the Aquino government. And the rest, as they say, is history. The history of Davao in the last 2 decades, to be more accurate. There is at least an entire generation of Davaoeños who have not known any other mayor than Duterte. 20 years, 6 3-year terms as city mayor, and 1 3-year term as representative of the 1st Congressional District of Davao City. For someone who first got into politics by default, Mayor Rodi has done more for the city than any other politician of his generation. And he has done so with a clear vision and direction, as manifested in how he anchored the milestones of his 6 terms around a particular theme. On his first term, from 1988 to 1992, restoring order and reorganizing the city government, restored law and order amidst the chaos of the city with the Disiplina and Hapsay-Dalan programs, and initiated a massive cleanup drive, reorganized the city government, and built its institutional capabilities to align with the local government code, appointed deputy mayors for the different tribes, and organized the city through 11 political and administrative districts for more effective and efficient local government administration. As a result of the restoration of order, Davao City posed a positive balance of trade for the first time in years. On his second term from 1992 to 1995, setting clear development directions and comprehensive planning. Mobilization of all sectors to actively participate in the planning process. The first LGU in the country to organize the City Development Council and the Barangay Development Councils, institutionalizing people's participation in the development process. Drafted the 25-year Comprehensive Development Plan of Davao City. Created two pieces of landmark legislation, the Local Investment Incentive Code and the Children's Development Code. Implemented the Barangay Integrated Management Program to stimulate grassroots development. And the city hit the 1 billion peso mark in terms of local revenues. On his third term from 1995 to 1998, going global and integrating gender and development. The city embarked on an aggressive tourism and investment promotions campaign through the Invest in Davao program. Amended the city's zoning ordinance to respond to the growing needs of the city. For the first time, the No Man's Land was recognized as the Destination of the Year by the Department of Tourism. Played a vital role in the formation of BIMP Iaga. Recognized by Asia Week magazine as one of the top 20 most livable cities in Asia. Recognized by Citibank as the second most important city in the Philippines. Created the landmark legislation, the Women Development Code of Davao City. Established the Child Minding Center for children of city government employees. Established the Balay Dangupan and Balay Paginhawaan for children in need of special protection. On his fourth term from 2001 to 2004, suppressing crime and taking care of the poor and the environment. Established the 911 emergency response system for the city, the third of its kind in the world, and the first and only one in Asia. Equipped the Davao City Police Office with brand new equipment, vehicles, patrol cars. Purchased state-of-the-art ambulances and emergency rescue units. For the first time, because of LGU support, the Davao City Police Office was recognized as the best police office in the Philippines and has consistently won this award ever since. Established the Davao City Treatment and Rehabilitation of Drug Dependents, a resort-like community for drug dependents in the city. Created the Lingap para sa Mahirap program to subsidize healthcare needs of poor constituents. Launched the Urban Land Reform Program to assist qualified informal settlers in relocating or acquiring their own house and lot. Drafted the Local Development Plan for Children and launched the Children's Congress. Created the landmark legislation, the Comprehensive Anti-Smoking Ordinance of Davao City. Implemented the Solid Waste Management Program. Adopted the latest information technology system in local governance. Launched the City of Character Advocacy campaign, starting with professionalizing the local government service. On his fifth term, from 2004 to 2007, investing in Davao youth and stopping violence against women and children. Launched the Recognizing Outstanding Davao Youth Project, or RODI Project. For the first time, Davao City got not just one, but two Galing Pook Awards for its gender and development program. Established the Siglakan Women's Crisis Center, a one-stop shop and halfway home for women victims of violence and their children, the first of its kind in the country. Created the Office of the Special Counsel for Violence Against Women to attend to all legal needs of women victims of violence and the prosecution of their cases. Established the Madrasa Development Program for the city's Muslim youth. Established the Davao City Chinatown and created the Davao City Chinatown Development Council. Purchased new garbage bins and new equipment for its solid waste management program. Established the Ray of Hope Village in Maa City Jail for women detainees, the first of its kind in the country. on his sixth term from 2007 to 2010, building new infrastructure and nourishing the city's soul. Implemented the adaptive traffic control system in the city's major intersections. Started the urban drainage and flood control system. Intensified watershed rehabilitation and coastal resource management. Built more farm-to-market roads and alternative road system network. Established Damlag Home for Boys as a response to problems arising in the juvenile justice law. Developed the old PTA grounds into a new city landmark, the People's Park. Established the Museo Davaoeño. Launched the Davao program to establish Davao City as the culture capital of the Philippines. Launched the Scholarship for Tertiary Education Program, or STEP. Implemented the Mobile Early Childhood Care and Development Units in the barangays, a mobile preschool and daycare. Launched the Magnegosyo Taday and Magnegosyo Tabay, social entrepreneurship programs to address poverty and stimulate the grassroots economy. Clearly, the Duterte administration is not all about order and security. It is not just an end in itself, but a means to a greater goal. Restoring order and securing the law-abiding citizens and visitors of Davao were the prerequisites for the city's growth and development. When the people are safe and secure, they are able to realize their potentials and fulfill their promise. More than being the Punisher, as Time magazine called Mayor Rodi, he is also the generous provider who mobilizes Davao's resources to take care of the poor, the sick, and the hungry. Whether they are residents of the city or not, whether they voted for him or campaigned against him, he is the just leader who fights for the defenseless, the helpless, and the hopeless. He encourages open dialogue among his multicultural constituents and promotes diversity. He values honesty and truth and protects every person's right to express his or her opinion, even if it disagrees with his own. He is also the great problem solver, as he personally listens and attends to all his constituents' problems, from the most mundane to the most complex of issues. The people of Davao are spoiled that way. They really believe that everything can be given by Mayor Rodi, and all their problems will be solved by him instantly, which would sometimes make the mayor sigh and say, "I am not God. I cannot do everything." Indeed, Mayor Rodi Duterte is not God. But for most of the masses who love him and keep voting for him again and again, he is their Moses, who led them to the promised land of what Davao is today.
Here are some things you didn't know about Rodrigo Roa Duterte, aka the Punisher. Number 1. Duterte and his Cebuano roots. The Dutertes are originally from Cebu. For instance, his late father, former Davao Governor Vicente Duterte, was mayor of Danao City in Cebu. His cousin Ronald, on the other hand, served as Cebu City Mayor from 1983 to 1986. Ronald's father, Ramon Duterte, also held the position from 1957 to 1959. Mayor Rodrigo Duterte also considers several political families in Cebu as his relatives, among them the Durano and Almendra clans. It was in the 1950s when his father moved to Davao, leaving behind some of their relatives who have since remained in Cebu. Number 2. Duterte as a teenager. Despite him being skinny, the young Duterte was just as tough during his childhood. In a 2002 Time magazine article, Duterte was described as fearless because he refused to back down from fights or whippings from his mother despite being a self-confessed skinny weakling. Number 3. He never dreamed of becoming a mayor. Upon passing the bar exam, Duterte served Davao first as a special counsel to the city government and then as assistant city fiscal. After the 1986 People Power Revolution, however, his career took a new turn. In a 2002 interview with the Philippine Daily Inquirer, Duterte recounted how he went from an officer-in-charge vice mayor to Davao City's longest-serving mayor. "I never thought I'd be a mayor. Never in my wildest dreams. Ako kinualang nila kasi my mother was the wife of the governor, so she had stature and she was against Marcos during martial law. So non nanalo si Cory, nilagay nila yung pangalan ng nanay ko. Sabi siguro she was one of those who really fought the dictatorship without consulting her. So non nakita ang nanay ko because Cory was coming that day in the afternoon. My mother asked why her name was there. You are too presumptuous about it. You did not ask," she said. So there was the name Duterte. Pumunta sila sa fiscal's office, sabi nila, mag-vice mayor ka na lang. Nagoy ko. I said, maybe if you really want to reward me, make me the city fiscal. Promote my chief and then I'd be the chief prosecutor of the city. I won the mayorship in 1988. I stayed there until 1998, then ran for congressman, then back to mayor. Number 4. He describes his term in the Congress as boring. After his 3 terms as Davao City Mayor, Duterte ran and won as congressman of the city's 1st district in 1998. He had no choice anyway. The 1987 Constitution mandated that congressmen and other local officials can only be elected to 3 consecutive 3-year terms. Known for his hands-on leadership, Duterte finds the time he spent in the Congress as less than fulfilling. In the same interview with the Philippine Daily Inquirer, he said, "I've been in the Congress and after the flag ceremony punta na ako sa canteen, then out. I had not been to the movies for 30 years. But when I was in Congress, I went to see Nottingham, Sick, Hill, Gladiator, Laughter. When I became a congressman, I'd go to the mall, Naglalik at Lakadigo, tapos magdadaldal, wala namang kakwenta-kwenta. Ko nadaan, uwi na ako." Number 5. He supports LGBT rights. Duterte embraces diversity. In fact, he was the only politician who allowed gay candidates, along with a Muslim and disabled, in his ticket. He believes that the city council is a body of people sitting as representatives of the people. So I felt that everybody must be represented. How can you find peace here if you keep on with your biases? Number 6. He was President Arroyo's anti-crime consultant. Duterte's iron fist leadership has earned him both critics and admirers. Among those who were pleased by his role in transforming Davao City was no less than former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, who eventually sought his help in 2002. Number 7. He cares for indigenous and tribal peoples. While the needs of indigenous groups are often neglected in several parts of the country, the same cannot be said for Davao City. As a matter of fact, Duterte was among the first politicians who appointed deputy mayors to represent the Muslim and Lumad people in the city government. He believes that these tribal leaders are in a better position to tackle particular issues and problems of priority and special concern to native tribal and Muslim constituent groups of the city. Number 8. He used to give groceries to police officers so they wouldn't be tempted to ask for bribes. Riding a Harvey big bike, Mayor Duterte would usually drive around Davao City twice a week to ensure things are well taken care of. During these night patrols, he would usually check the precinct houses to make sure the cops were not sleeping and to see who's in the holding cells and why. Number 9. He encouraged drug pushers, users to surrender by giving them cash and livelihood. Although he has long been linked to the infamous DDS, Davao Death Squad, Duterte doesn't believe death is the only option to fight illegal drugs. In 2003, for instance, he encouraged people involved in drugs to surrender in exchange for cash and a little livelihood. The money, which amounted to 2,000 pesos, would serve as pocket money of surrenderers while undergoing a drug rehabilitation program. Duterte also used part of his peace and order fund to give allowance and therefore compel the drug dependents to see the doctor regularly. Number 10. He warned he will kill up to 100,000 criminals if he is elected president. If there's one thing that keeps Duterte from running for higher office, that would be his fear that as much as 100,000 criminals might die if he becomes president. Rumors have been told about Duterte's alleged involvement in the summary killings perpetrated by the vigilante group Davao Death Squad. He had continued to deny this until his recent interview with Jigsamasa Parasamasa. In the said TV show, Duterte admitted his links to the infamous group and even dared human rights groups to file a case against him in the court. Number 11. He declined several awards. In April 2014, Mayor Duterte was nominated for the World Mayor Award, which is given every 2 years by the City Mayors Foundation to outstanding leaders who served their communities well. However, Duterte politely refused the nod, saying, "I did it not for my own glory, but because that was what the people expected me to do." It was not the first time that Duterte declined an award, though. In the past, he refused to accept awards for Davao City, including the one given by the American Cancer Society and the 2010 Anti-Smoking Award in Singapore. Number 12. His accomplishments as Davao City Mayor. Duterte's somewhat unconventional leadership has been praised by Filipinos who are longing for peace and order, so much so that Duterte was ranked 5th among all Filipino politicians included in the list of 2010 most trusted individuals by Reader's Digest. However, Duterte's success is not just one-dimensional. His unprecedented term as a mayor saw the transformation of Davao City from a crime-infested area into a thriving business hub equipped with its own 24/7 emergency hotline, Central 911. Among the notable ordinances enacted by the city government under Duterte were the firecracker ban, liquor ban, which prohibits the sale and consumption of alcoholic beverages from 1 p.m. to 8 a.m. in public places, and the anti-smoking ordinance. Number 13. Duterte's net worth. According to Minda News, Mayor Rodrigo Duterte's latest sound reveals that his net worth grew from P21,618,289.73 in 2013 to P22,971,732.62 in 2014, a difference of about P1.35 million. Although Duterte only earns P78,946 a month as a government official, the bulk of his wealth comes from his allowances as head of different councils, real estate investments, and other personal properties such as vehicles, appliances, and jewelry, among others. 14. Duterte on population control. A known pro-RH bill, Mayor Duterte recommends family planning because it is something good for the people. In fact, he recently encouraged several couples attending a community wedding, Kasalang Bayan, to have no more than 3 children. But long before the RH bill debate had reached the local political landscape, Duterte was already supporting the use of family planning methods. In 2005, he announced that he would give P5,000 to those who would avail of the city's free tubal ligation and vasectomy services. The money, as health officials and social workers would later reveal, was partly a cash incentive. The remaining amount covered the expenses required for the procedure. Number 15. Duterte vs. Singapore. The 1995 execution of Flor Contemplation, who was convicted for the murder of a 4-year-old Singaporean child and another Filipino maid, triggered a firestorm of public protests in several Philippine cities and provinces. The most controversial, however, was in Davao City, where Mayor Rodrigo Duterte led his employees in publicly burning a Singaporean flag replica. He also urged Davaoinos to boycott Singaporean products and investments. Number 16. He condemns NPA's armed struggle, but supports their cause. Mayor Duterte may detest communist-related violence, but he still respects the rebel group New People's Army, NPA, and their ideologies. This became evident when he recently allowed a hero's burial to the slain NPA leader Leoncio Caparago Pitao. Although he is against their armed struggle, Duterte admits that he shares with NPA the same view of the politics and the government. In another incident in 2004, Mayor Duterte paid the medical bills amounting to more than P100,000 of an NPA member. Marvin Luis, who was wounded in an encounter in Compostela Valley, arrived in Davao Medical Center riddled with bullets and almost dead. Number 17. Duterte on federalism. In 2005, Mayor Duterte in his television program Jiksamasa, Parasamasa declared, "Let us establish an independent nation in Mindanao and we will call it the Republic of Mindanao." When he made the statement, Duterte was obviously frustrated by the political turmoil in Manila. He directed his ire at the discontented Filipinos who would always try to overthrow each president that gets elected without consulting the people of Mindanao. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to click the share button. And please do subscribe for more Philippine politicians' profile. I am Vanessa. Now logging out.
Mayor Rodrigo Duterte had been serving the city of Davao for a few years, but despite of having authority and power over the place, he still remained simple and lived a simple life. Many people have been wondering how the Duterte's residence looks like. But many people claims that their house is not as extravagant as the home of the other mayors in Philippines. A tour inside the home of Mayor Duterte was done by Rapala. The simplicity of the home is truly mesmerizing. The staircase serves as his everyday exercise before he could reach his bedroom. As seen in these photos, the home of the Dutertes is not as big as a mansion, but it is simple. It is one thing that Mayor Duterte is different from the other politicians. He would rather live a simpler life than to stay in a huge mansion.
Every house is secured, every person safe, and every place a home for everyone.
Welcome to our facility, the Davao City's Public Safety and Security Command Center. It is ambition to have a safe city by using people, information, technology, and intelligence solutions. This is the best solutions we can provide to our people by monitoring their daily lives or activities in the streets of Davao City. We have manifested our desire to all our constituents to give them a safe home and a safe community. Welcome to our city and welcome to our facility.
July of 2010, Public Safety Command Center was created to manage and assess public safety in the city of Davao, but because of the imminent threats on the city's security, security was then added to the picture, and so became the Public Safety and Security Command Center through another executive order, specifically EO number 18 series of 2012. The Public Safety and Security Command Center, or PSSCC, was specifically created to provide protection, security, safety, and risk management to the people of Davao. PSSCC prides itself as the first intelligent operations center solution in the world by integrating intelligence into its operational capability to better manage crime and terrorism. Traffic, emergency response, and public safety. Not to mention it has pioneered the implementation of traffic monitoring through a central monitoring system by the use of traffic cameras. In partnership with Advocacy and Associates Incorporated and IBM Philippines, it has utilized technology as tools to better perform its mandate and assist all other line agencies. The PSSCC operates through a very simple manner. It uses coordinative approach to address the different issues on safety and security relative to crime, terrorism, security, traffic, health and social services, and disaster risk reduction. By using information, people, technology, and intelligent solutions, the PSSCC regularly facilitates coordination meetings to address issues that may need attention relative to public safety and security concerns. It also exercises supervision and control of all 600 personnel under the Civil Security Unit who are deployed to public schools, vital installations, disaster operations, and during significant events, as an augmentation to the other line agencies. The PSSCC's CCTV operations is equipped with cutting-edge technology, integrated with other line agencies, and perform endless safety and security monitoring of the city, 24 hours a day, and 7 days a week. All incidents monitored by the system, ranging from fire, flood, riots, theft, traffic accidents, suspicious circumstances, and the like are automatically reported to Central 911, who then sends the appropriate responders to the scene of emergency. Under the CCTV Integrated Operations Unit of the PSSCC is the Traffic Operations Center, Intelligent Operations Center, and Technical Support Team. The Traffic Operations Center or TOC is equipped with strategically installed 17 long-range traffic cameras with state-of-the-art traffic signalization system which includes road sensors and smart programmable system. TOC is primarily tasked to monitor the traffic situation most especially on major intersections or thoroughfares in the city. It constantly coordinates with Traffic Management Center to better manage the traffic flow or any other traffic-related issues in the city. On the other hand, the Intelligent Operations Center is equipped with 173 security cameras strategically installed all over the city. Points of entry such as checkpoints, seaports, airports, and bus terminals are diligently monitored, including public facilities and critical infrastructures. Various road networks which are considered critical are also equipped with security cameras. Aside from the real-time monitoring of the city's security, the IOC system is equipped with technologically advanced system which includes video analytics, used for tracking and identifying of people and vehicles, not to mention the IOC's capability to provide data analysis. The IOC system is also equipped with Geographic Information System or GIS map, IOC console, with which is integrated with the Central 911 system. Calls taken by the 911 call taker are automatically linked to the IOC console, which is a centralized dashboard view that allows Davao City Police Office, Disaster Operations Center, Task Force Davao, Traffic Management Center, and Central 911 to monitor events and operations in real time, as it also shares all live feeds of the security cameras. Multi-channel unified communication or unified edge wave dispatch is at the heart of the IOC's capability to communicate with other line agencies at any given time. Through the live feeds from CCTVs and a unified communication tool, respective departments will be alerted for emergency in specific locations. This now will result in faster response times for the department in charge of the situation. The Public Safety and Security Command Center has developed its own alarm system to improve interoperability within the Integrated Operations Unit as well as maintain its relentless coordination with the Central 911. It has even utilized the use of social media as a tool to disseminate and reach out to the citizens of Davao. PSSCC has its own traffic update page provided with snapshots to inform the public relative to the city's traffic situation. It also has an interactive page to hear out comments, suggestions, and queries that may be relevant to city's safety and security. Staffed with highly trained personnel and technical team, the PSSCC maintains a constant and up-to-date city risk assessment on criminality, terrorism, and emergencies. Public Safety and Security Command Center has made a remarkable impact in ensuring peace and order and keeping the citizens of Davao City secure. Proving its worth, it has given numerous help to investigations, apprehensions, tracking and identification of people or vehicles, and most importantly in providing situational awareness. The Public Safety and Security Command Center indeed puts into concrete actions the city government's strong commitment to minimize if not totally suppress all forms of criminalities, and to lessen if not totally prevent possible injuries from violation of the traffic rules and regulations, city ordinances, existing laws, and other common emergencies.
The trouble with us in government is that we talk too much, act too slow, and do too little.
Pleasure Haven, Business Hub, Major Economic Center, International Destination. This is Davao, my city, your city. Indeed, Davao City has gone a long way in achieving economic development and improving the quality of life of its citizens. It has since become the Philippines' foremost southern gateway and most competitive city, as well as one of Asia's most livable cities through its people's hard work, determination, and strong political will. But on the heels of these gates, come what is all too common to growing urban cities worldwide: a rise in adverse incidents, criminalities, and casualties during disasters and calamities, not to mention a growing attraction to terrorist activities. Like any developing city in the world, Davao is not spared from these threats. It has its shares of injuries, casualties, and damages. Serious accidents happen every so often. Natural calamities strike unpredictably and leaving a trail of destruction in its path, leaving cities, structures, families, and lives broken. The growing incidence of crime and terrorism as a global phenomenon has changed the lifestyle and landscape of countries and cities. These are ever-present threats that the citizens and government can only deal with through vigilance and preparation. It is in this light that the city government of Davao has placed a heavy emphasis on disaster preparedness, safety, and security. It has intensified its emergency response and crime prevention program through the establishment of Central Communications and Emergency Response Center, or Central 911. Launched on September 2002, Central 911 Davao prides itself as the third fully integrated emergency response system outside the US and Canada, and the first in Asia. It operates in a well-coordinated system that combines state-of-the-art technology as well as highly trained personnel to provide prompt, adequate, and professionalized emergency response service to the citizens of Davao. However, unlike its counterparts in the US and Canada, Davao City 911 is completely free of charge, which demonstrates the commitment of the local government in returning to the citizens the worth of taxes they are paying. Any citizen needing assistance has only to dial 911 using any landline or a cellular phone. Once received by the call taker, the necessary information is then logged, and the scene of the emergency is located using the emergency computer-aided dispatch system. The information is transferred to the radio dispatcher, who immediately dispatches the appropriate responder nearest to the scene of emergency. The responders periodically update the center on the progress of the case. Recognizing the importance of police visibility and the maintenance of peace and order and the prevention of crimes, the city government has provided the Davao City Police Office with patrol cars, complete with communication equipment to augment its operation. This fleet of patrol cars roams the city 24/7. Central 911 has its own emergency medical services unit. Manned by highly trained emergency medical technicians, the 911 EMS is capable of performing basic medical tasks to the more complex medical procedures. Its ambulance units are amply equipped with basic and advanced life support and life-saving equipment. 911's elite urban search and rescue unit are ever ready to respond to emergency cases. Among the specialized skills this unit has acquired are high-angle rescue, swift water search and rescue, scuba diving, road accident extrication, mountain search and rescue, retrieval and evacuation operations, and even animal control. Central 911 also has its own in-house fire auxiliary services unit, working side by side with the Bureau of Fire Protection and other volunteer fire groups. These fearless firefighters are ready to respond to any type of fire incident. In response to terrorism, 911 has created its own K9 unit. Its bomb-sniffing dogs are constantly trained and conditioned. The K9 unit regularly operates at the Davao International Airport and other strategic places. Recognizing the importance of community and its indispensable role in disaster preparedness, Central 911 is reaching out to the different barangays, government and non-government agencies through the conduct of orientations and trainings.
Jud noong 911 makatabang jud tuod kay ngano man simba ko lang na mga emergency para sa ingon ani karon sa ako nahitabo para sa amuha lisod baya jud among kahimtang nang midangot na lang jud ko sa 911.
Ganahan pud ko sa pag ano nila nga at least kanang nakatawag pud gani mi og kuan 911 kay ang assistance pud nila mas dali ra kaysa sa katong kami lang gud nag-ani din niya for admission sa pasyente. Pasalamat ko sa kuan 911 sa pag-assistance nila dayon sa amo labi na sa kuang bana kay kuan nalapatan siya dayon og first aid. Daghang kayong salamat.
Habang nagadagan ang sakyanan, asikaso ko nila sa sulod sa sakyanan, ginatauran ko nila dextrose, ginapangutan ako perminti, ginamonitor nila kung tiyan, kung busog ba daw ang bata, mayo ilang serbisyo sa tanan nga pasyente nga nakasakay sa ilang sakyanan, mayo kayo. Daghang salamat sa 911.
Pag-rescue na sa mga dito, gitabang mo din nila kung mahan. Oxygen, tanan gamit, kompleto ba? Okay kayo sila kan sa mga rescue yun. Salamat kay sa 911 ambulance kay nakatabang yugda ko sa mga ba.
Pag-responde sa kuha sir atong panahon atong i-rescue ko sir. Okay kayo sila sir. Dali sila ka-rescue. Kag wala sila kay layo kaya mua. Kahit ang kinabuhi murag di mi kahabot sa ospital. Usa mi gibiyaan gipahilo na pudaan. Daghang kay salamat sa pagsuporta nila sa kuha sir atong panahon nga nadala ko diri.
From its inception, Central 911 has made a tremendous impact in ensuring peace and order and keeping the citizens of Davao City safe and confident. Residents of the far-flung barangays now have access to prompt emergency rescue services. Citizens in distress can easily access the resources of government and summon them to their aid. Central 911 surely puts the city government's solid dedication to minimize, if not otherwise subdue all forms of criminal actions, and to reduce or possibly avert potential injuries and loss from disasters and calamities by promptly attending and quickly responding to emergencies. The imminent danger for bigger damage to properties are timely averted, and serious threats to life are immediately thwarted.
Sa tuwing nasisilayan ang aking bayan, tila kahirapan na ang nakasanayan. Gutom na kabataan, kawalan ng tahanan, walang hanggang digmaan, para lang sa kapangyarihan. Ako si hambog ng sagro, ako ay Pilipino. Ang puso ko ay dinudurog nyo at pinipino. Hindi lang libo-libo, kundi milyon-milyon. Ang Pinoy na naghihirap, huwag nyo nang itanggiyon. Sino bang may kasalanan, kayo ba o sila? Kung bakit ang Pinas nawawala na ng sigla? Ito ang aking kanta, para kay ano, di ko napapanggitin pero sanang madama nyo. Pilipinas, ano kamusta ulit? Balita ko ang kapalaran dyan nagmamalupit. Lumang tugtugin na yon, wala nang bago doon. Di ka ligtas sa Pinas hanggang man maparoon. Dahil ang salapi itinuturing Panginoon. Ang pera ang ugat ng kasamaan mula pa noon. Pinas sa utang baon, bakit nagkaganoon? Walang pagkakataon, malaman sang tinugon. Iyong buwis na binayaran, san kaya napunta? Ginamit ba para sa bayan o sa kanyang bulsa? Yan ang gusto nilang malaman, saan nyo ba ginasta? Pera nilang pinaghirapan ng di basta-basta. Ang tunay na katotohanan po ay lalabas ba? O itatagot kalokohan nyo ay lalakas pa? Sadya na nga ang kasamaan sa Pinas, likas na. Ngunit kailangang makayanan pag nasa Pinas ka. Pilipinas, mahal kita o aming bayan. Ngunit kahirapan hanggang kailan mo makakayanan? Paano kang makakabangon kung mismo ang pinuno? Sa katiwalian sila mismo pasimuno. Mga kababayan ko, sana tayo'y magkaisa. Hindi yung puro paninisi at umaasa sa iba. Mga puso ng Pinoy nabibitak na lang sa'yo. Kaya pag naiisip ka, naiiyak na lang ako. Itinuloy ko ang panonood ko ng balita. Sa mga inuulat, puso ko ay nahihiwa. Ako ay Pilipino sa dugo, puso at diwa. Kaya masakit sa aking Pinas, unti-unting nasira. Sa mga snatcher, holdupper, kurakot at rapist, kidnapper ay kutakot at ang magnanakaw. May mga urito, may mahirap, mayaman, minsan politiko. Kanya-kanya ng plataforma, pangako at agenda. Para sa bayan ba o para may bagong asyenda? Pag nalaman ng bayan ang yaman na natatago, tatawanan ka lamang harapan na panggagago. Kitang-kita na sa media, panluloko nyo't mga katiwalian. Kaya wag nyo kaming gawing mga tanga. Magtuturuan, maglalabasan pa ng baho. Ang mga to kami sawa na at pagod, pare-parehas lang kayo. Pilipinas, mahal kita o aming bayan. Ngunit kahirapan hanggang kailan mo makakayanan? Paano kang makakabangon kung mismo ang pinuno? Sa katiwalian sila mismo pasimuno. Mga kababayan ko, sana tayo'y magkaisa. Hindi yung puro paninisi at umaasa sa iba. Mga puso ng Pinoy nabibitak na lang sa'yo. Kaya pag naiisip ka, naiiyak na lang ako. Pinas nagkakahirapan, sino ang may kagagawan? Tayo bang mamamayan o ating pamahalaan? Wala nang ang nakalaan na bagong bukas sa daan. Dahil ang tanging paraan nila ay gera at balahan. Magiging kapwa Pilipino kanilang napabayaan. Digmaan mo na bago makamit ang tayabaan. May kulay puti, asul, pula, dilaw sa ating watawat. Ngunit ang kulay hindi ka mamalas din ang maawat. Kahirapan, kagipitan at gulo aming tanaw. Mula Luzon hanggang Visayas hanggang dun sa Mindanao. Kung araw-araw ganito na lang, diba nakakasawa? Tingnan nyo ang kababayan nyo, diba nakakaawa? Sa sarili mong bansa, ikay parang minamaltrato. Gaya ng pamilya ng sundalo na 44. Sa pagluha ang mukha nila na mamasapan, no? Dahil walang hustisya na ganap sa mamasapan, no? Diyan ka lang, teka, hindi pa ko tapos. Akong nadadama sa'yo, sa puso ko'y taos. Ako'y banas, ako'y gigil, kahit di ko kaano-ano. Ang mga to na nasawi dahil ang sapayadong plano. At hindi lamang sundalo ang nakikipagbakbakan, pati din ang mga batang nagugutom sa lansangan. Kailangang manlimos, mapakalman ang sikmura. May mga puso ba kayo? Bakit nyo yan
masisikmura. Nais ko kayong mamura, ninyong lahat. Nilulubog nyo lalo ang Pinas imbis na iangat. Kaya ibang Pinoy nangingibang bansa para kumita. Minsan yan ang dahilan na sa pamilya mo sumira. Pero di sana nangyari mga ganitong eksena. Kung ang Pilipinas ay merong maayos na sistema. Inyong binangon ng Pinas at ginawang impyerno to.
Pansamantalang inilipat ng kulungan ang 20 drug lord na nakakulong sa Bilibid. Yan ay matapos mabisto ang mga malamol na kubol nila na nasa loob mismo ng maximum security compound.
Natuklasan ng jacuzzi, Korean-made spa, home theater, stage at cabinet ng mga mamahaling gamit.
At sa kubol ng isa pang drug convict kung saan natakpuan ng isang recording studio, may nakuha pang album ng kanyang mga awitin. Abay, baka mag-platinum pa yan. Ano ba yan?
Maximum compound ng New Bilibid Prison ang hinalughog. Pero ilan sa mga tumambad sa mga tauhan ng PNP at NBI, Korean-made sauna. At jacuzzi na may TV monitor sa paanan. Maliit ba ang screen na yan? May kubol din doon na may 50-inch flat screen TV. Theater. At LCD projector. Hindi pa mainit dahil may split-type aircon. Kung good time din lang naman, may kubol na may stage para sa live band. Meron ding sex toys at sex gadgets. Habang ang ilang cabinet, puno ng mamahaling sapatos, sunglasses at relos. Pero higit sa mga yan, 1.5 milyong pisong cash at mga armas ang nakita sa kubol ni Peter Ko na ayon sa Justice Department ay pinakamataas na convicted drug lord sa Bilibid.
Beyond disgusting. Whenever I ask about the so-called kubols of this privileged few, sasabihin nila wala na daw yung mga ganon. Matagal na daw na mga na-dismantle yan. But apparently, those are all lies.
Una nang inamin mismo ni Justice Secretary Laila de Lima na nakakapag-transaksyon pa rin ang mga drug lords kahit nakakulong sila.
Kung totoo yan na merong Shabu Lab, nakatago yan, pinapahanap ko yun. And that's why nagpatulong na rin nga ako sa NBI, sa PIDEA.
Mismong sa loob ng maximum security compound ng New Bilibid Prisons, niluluto ang shabu. Ayon sa aktor na si Robin Padilla, isa itong open secret sa Bilibid.
Pagdating ko nga doon, nagtanong sa akin ng gwardiya, ano ba gusto mong tirahin? Ha? Talaga sabi ko, ano ba, gusto mo ba shabu? Ay, hindi ako nagsasabu. Ano ba tinitira ko? Heroin ho ako at saka Demerol. O sige, mga next week, makukuha na namin yun. Ginagawa sa maximum, niluluto po doon. Niluluto doon. Pero lumang tugtugi na siya. Lahat po sa kulungan, alam yon.
Pero ayon kay Justice Secretary Laila de Lima, patuloy pa rin nila itong kinukumpirma.
Isa nga yan sa mga gusto namin tumbukin. Kasi rumor yan. I keep hearing about that. Wala pang confirmation.
I told you, wag mo akong look at your own back. There is a more serious crime being committed every day. Yung lumalabas ng preso nag-hold up, nagkikidnap, tapos bumabalik dyan sa munting lupa. Yung mayayaman na lumalabas dyan, binabayaran. Ngayon, magtanong ako, kasali ka ba doon sa pera? Bakit nakakalabas at nakakapasok? Bakit nakakapasok yung mga babae? Bakit nakakapasok yung magagandang pagkain? Bakit nakakapasok yung baril? Bakit sila nakakaluto ng shabu dyan? You answer for that to the nation. Huwag mong sabihin, nagpa-red raid ko lang. No. Iyong bureau yan. Nandoon ako sa Mindoro, lumabas yung sablayan. Ang iyong penal colony guard, nagbibenta ng shabu, kasali yung preso sa labas. What do you think is happening to this country? I'm the only local official openly talking against drugs. You have the goal to to just say now, pinapatay ko yung mga kriminal? Anong ginawa mo sa mga kriminal dito sa Pilipinas? Answer me. Si Duterte, maraming babae, gano'n. Totoo naman. Si Duterte, pinapatay yung tao. Totoo naman. You know, itong sabi nila na pumapatay ako ng tao. We have lost a part of this generation to drugs. And our children, pati tayo, have lost the right sa ating bayan na magpunta ka kung saan-saan, unmolested ka, unharmed. We have lost the right to use the streets at night. Doon sa ibang lugar, ganun. Hindi ka makapaglakad kasi kung hindi ka hold upin, patayin ka. You know, I do not pretend to be a prophet here. Pero if I make it to the Pasig, that has to stop. I will not allow the criminals to control the lives of the Filipinos. I will control their life. It's either you do not take away our freedom, our hard. Alam mo, on average, family, marami yan. Nagpag-aral yung anak, nag-uutang pagdating sa high school, college. I will not allow you to do that. May problema tayo. Mga addict kayo. So, itong mga drug lords, wala naman itong anak na nandyan sa droga. Itong mga pulis sa Maynila, they have taken over. Drugs is being manufactured or produced right there in the correctional facility of Bilibid Prison. That has to stop. Corruption has to stop. Hindi ako nagmakalinis, lahat tayo. Even in and out of government. Government, yes. Hindi ako nagpapakalinis sa inyo. I have my dark sides. I have my faults. Bahala na ang Pilipino sa atin. I have my record. I stand by it as a prosecutor and as mayor for the longest time. Yan ang ko. Tell me what my credentials to the presidency. Then I'd say Davao is Exhibit A. Ngayon, dito sa Davao, hindi sabihin ito malinis itong bayan na to. It's not perfect. So that maybe I said, kung dating ako doon sa Pasig, I can promise you, not heaven, but I will promise you a comfortable life. Corruption has to stop. Criminality has to stop. Either makuha ko ang gusto ko, or you perish. Magprangkahan na lang tayo. Anong ibig sabihin yan? Patayan yan. Yung mga drug lords, mahirapan kayong, you have to transfer. Go to somewhere else. Maghanap kayo ng bayan dito sa balat ng mundo na pwede kayong magkapera sa droga. Because if I make it, inshallah, tapos yan. I will not tolerate. It's either ma-deliver ko o mag-resign ako. That's what I've been telling you guys sa Davao. Either maka-deliver ako o mag-resign ako, ibigay ko sa iba. or give it to the military and the police. They're better armed, better prepared to deal with violence. Pero ako, sabihin ko sa inyo, hindi talaga ako papayag. Hindi ako papayag na I have to give the freedom to use the streets, the plazas, any time of the day or night. Short of that is a failure. Pero hindi ko tatanggapin yan, lalo na droga, pati criminality, corruption. Yung tanim, balat, tanim, talagang huminto. Ayan. Hindi ako nagbibiro. May napakain na ako, hindi bala pero coin. Mas malusot yung bala kasi maliit lang. Kakainin talaga niyan. Then if I charge of whatever, I will step down. I said, I deliver or I fail. Dito sa dalawa. Economy, well, it will follow. What we need is the infrastructure. Even the airport. We have to close the country for so many days because we do not have the infrastructure. And even on ordinary day, you fly, you're way later sa airport. Delay. Why? Because there are so many airplanes circling around the Manila International Airport. And there's the club, we spent billions, and dinagdagan na lang sana nila ng ilang billion, then could have built a fast train para magamit. Walang ibang airport magamit. Anak lang. So, huwag na yung economy. You just provide an infrastructure. You decongest. Yung export, pati import, nagsasalubong sa isang daan, sa isang pantalan. Huwag na yung economy. Simple lang. Economy, if you are an exporter or an importer, the rule is the law of supply and demand. Pag wala yan dito, mag-i-import ka. Pag na-benta yan sa labas ng marami, then you export. So what is the rule? You look for the fastest na magdating yung export mo or import mo, the cheapest, which is really the freight, and the safest, na hindi ma-hijack yun. Huwag na yung principles of economy. Lahat tayo dumaan ng economics. Yan ang naalaala ko. Ay yung professor namin dyan sa NEDA, that's what he said to us. Law of supply and demand. You build the infrastructures, build the ports, build the airports. Isang airport lang itong bayan na ito. Of 100 million, you have only one airport. Kung pupunta ka ng Maynila, yung Department of Agriculture dito sa Mindanao yan. Wala bang agriculture doon sa Manila, puro semento. Then maybe the OTC can go for Cebu. You have to decongest not only the people and the goods. You have to decongest government.
Ako si Rudy Duterte. Kung gusto ninyong ayusin ang bayan natin, handa akong maglingkod. Pero dapat lahat tayo magsakripisyo at magkaisa para maayos ang ating bayan. Kung happy na kayo sa continuing corruption, sa pag-usbong ng krimen, huwag ninyo akong iboto. Kung happy na kayo sa mataas na presyo ng pagkain at kuryente, huwag ninyo akong iboto. Kung happy na kayo sa kulubot na traffic at lack of infrastructure, huwag ninyo akong iboto. Kung happy na kayo na wala tayong industriya at walang trabaho dito sa ating bayan, huwag ninyo akong iboto. Ngayon, kung gusto ninyong mangyari sa buong Pilipinas ang nagawa ko para sa mahal kong Davao, nakakalakad ang tao na walang takot, nakakatrabaho na walang takot, siguro naman sa tulong ninyong lahat, magagawa ko rin sa buong Pilipinas. Ako po si Rudy Duterte, isang Pilipino. It is my moral obligation to do what I can for the future of our country. Maraming salamat po.
Oh, baby, give me one more chance.
Yes, I'm running. It is my duty to do something, even if it means leaving the comfort of my home and my beloved Davao. I cannot stand to see the ordinary Filipino neglected by the very structures and institutions of our government that were created to protect them. The people have become the victims instead of the beneficiaries of the present structures of government. Yes, I am running. Kahit na wala akong pera o makinarya, you will be my political machinery. With your help, I do not need big money to run. I will rely on your voluntary contributions and my friends who will contribute with no strings attached. Yes, I am running. Hindi ko kayang tapatan ang mga ibang kandidato sa gastos nila sa TV and radio ads. Kayo na lang ang media ko. Yes, I am running. Hindi ko kayang tapatan ang dami ng posters at billboards ng campaign materials nila. Kayong mga kabataan at housewives na lang ang gumawa sa inyong bahay-bahay ng mga posters ko. Kayo na lang ang magtahi ng mga t-shirts ko para sa kampanya natin. Kayong mga karpentero na lang ang magtayo ng billboards ko. Kahit galing sa mga scrap na kahoy na lang. Yes, I am running. Ayaw kong magpatali sa malaking negosyante o mga smuggler na gustong mag-contribute sa aking kampanya. Sabi ko sa kanila, even if you contribute, I will still go after you if you violate the law. So better not contribute anymore. Sa mga tao na lang ako magpapatali. Sabi nila, tuwid ang daan at kayo raw ang boss. Naramdaman ba ninyo na kayo ang boss? Boss ba kayo sa mahal na bilihin? Boss ba kayo sa grabing traffic? Boss ba kayo sa pag-usbong ng krimen at droga? Boss ba kayo sa walang trabaho? Kayo ang binumbosabos. Ako po si Rudy Duterte. I will do my part to give you back your country and set it on the right course so our youth will have a future. But I cannot do it alone. Everyone must sacrifice. Yes, I'm running, but you have to run with me. Let's fix this country. Sama-sama tayo, upakan na natin. I'd like media to hear our side. There are reports coming in very fast. Maraming mga operatives dito sa National Enforcement. It could be PDEA, it could be the CIDG, basta connected with drugs. Ang Davao malinis. I can vouch for that as mayor. And I can also say that the same statement coming from the military and the police. Military Road Task Force Davao. I'm not dragging the name of the armed forces. Alam mo, may reports kami na nandito yung mga top operatives ng PDEA and everybody. And they are out to discredit the city. But mayroon kaming report na they might fabricate one to discredit me, maybe, kasi presidential candidate ako at the city. You know, hindi lamang kasi ako. Ang task force daw was in charge, also operating against drugs. Ang police lalo na. kung totoo man, go ahead and we will admit the failures. Pero kung mag-fabricate kayo a propaganda for a presidential candidate, I advise you not to do it. Do not do it. I will break your heart. O I will break somebody else's heart. Huwag ninyo kaming, if it's true, we will admit. Walang problema, we cannot hide the truth. The truth is the truth. Pero kung mag-fabricate kayo, set up a laboratory here, maawa kayo sa sarili niyo. Magmala ka lang.
Do you have any idea how the current Philippine presidential system works? Have you ever thought of visualizing the bigger picture? Do you know that the way you vote directly affects the way you live? Have you ever wondered why we even have stupid politicians? Sa part 1 ng video, inilarawan natin ang bumubuo ng executive department sa ilalim ng dalawang sistema na nagpapatakbo ng gobyerno. Kung hindi nyo po napanood, panoorin po ninyo. Search nyo po sa Facebook page ang Basa Pa More. Ngayon tingnan natin kung paano tumatakbo ang gobyerno sa ilalim ng unitary presidential system at federal parliamentary system sa congressional level. Sa presidential system na ginagamit natin ngayon, ang legislative ay ganap na hiwalay sa executive branch. Ang ibig sabihin, ang mga senador at congressman natin ay walang ibang gagawin kundi ang gumawa ng batas, mag-investigate in aid of legislation at umattend sa kanilang mga constituents. Kung ang Pilipinas ay isang federal parliamentary system, ang legislative branch at executive branch ay magkaugnay dahil ang magpapatakbo ng gobyerno ay manggagaling mismo sa legislative branch ng government. Ang Prime Minister at ang kanyang gabinete ay may katumbas din na leader of opposition at shadow cabinet nito na nag-o-offer ng alternative government. Lahat sila elected din ng taong bayan. Halimbawa, ang Minister for Finance ay may katumbas na Shadow Minister for Finance. Kaya tinatawag na shadow dahil bawat galaw ng Minister for Finance ay binabantayan lagi ng Shadow Minister for Finance. Dahil dito, walang lugar ang korupsyon dahil palaging may check and balance. Hindi kagaya sa presidential system ng Pilipinas, walang tunay na check and balance. Kung kurap ang gabinete at pangulo, sorry ka na lang, Pilipino. Kaya hindi katakataka, marami ang nakukulong pagkatapos ng isang administrasyon. Sa larangan ng pagsasagawa ng batas, makikita mo sa presidential system natin ngayon kung anong klaseng mga senador at congressmen meron tayo. They will deliberate on specific national issues of great importance as much as they would debate on the most stupid of all proposed legislations, gaya ng pangalanan ng isang kalye, panukalang nagbabawal sa overloaded school bags, panukalang no busina day, panukalang nagbabawal gahasain ng patay, o panukalang nagbabawal manghitch sa motorsiklo. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, meron din tayong the half a cup of rice bill, the anti-selfie bill, the anti-sex toy bill, the anti-Korean novela bill, the balato bill, at marami pang iba. Sa ilalim ng sistema ngayon sa Pilipinas kung saan napakalakas na reward system, wala ka talagang ibang gawin bilang mambabatas kundi magpanggap ka lang kunyari nagdedebate, magpo-propose ng nakakalokang legislation at suportahan ang presidente sa kanyang agenda. Sigurado pork barrel matatanggap mo. Kung ang Pilipinas ay isang federal parliamentary system, ibang-iba ang breed ng mga members ng parliament kasi may executive at legislative responsibility sila at malaki ang accountability nila sa pagpapatakbo ng gobyerno, sa parliament at lalong-lalo na sa taong bayan. Hindi lang sila mambabatas kundi problem solvers at decision makers din. Wala nang pork barrel. Panay ang pagdedebate sa isang parliamentary system dahil bawat proposed legislation ay nangangailangan ng matinding deliberasyon. Bawat araw, habang nakaupo ang parliament, dinidebate at ginigisa ng buong parliament ang prime minister at kanyang mga ministers sa kanilang mga ipinapanukalang legislation. Dahil sa nature ng sistema ito, hindi uubra ang mga politikong bobo at korap. Iisa-isa silang magse-self-destruct, magko-collapse at susuko at napapalitan ng mga matatalino at matitinong politicians. Sa year-on-year prosperity rankings mula 2009 hanggang 2015, lahat ng mga bansang nasa top 20 ay gumagamit ng federal government o parliamentary system o kombinasyon ng dalawang ito. Gusto mo bang manatili sa presidential system